type of farm that I'm involved with, and with my role as NFU, it's obviously my brother who's been involved much more in the day-to-day running of the farm. This is a really now very specialist arable farm, but one I hope you can see from the pictures behind me is learning to produce more crop, but also do it alongside environmental management as well. We want to grow hopefully profitable arable crops, good yields, but also in an environmentally sensitive way. What's important for us, I think, as arable farmers, is certainly to look at our carbon footprint. And we could look at the whole general debate of greenhouse gases of methane and nitrous oxide, but certainly with carbon emissions, the amount of energy I use to produce a tonne of wheat is key. So we're trying to make sure everything is done more efficiently. The machine we've just seen operating has a sensor on, sensing the green canopy as it travels, and then varying the application rates as it goes to try and make sure that we're not over-treating areas where the soil has meant the crop has grown very lush and is potentially could fall over, which is again wasteful. You get lower yields having used more energy, so that's an impact for climate change. Trying to make sure that I don't overdose fertiliser that might be runoff into ditches or evaporate into the atmosphere. This continual sensing is trying to make the whole process of fertiliser application more precise. Phosphate this year has gone from £200 a tonne to over £600 a tonne. So by using the technology that goes and maps in detail these fields, where the nutrient levels are low and where they're high, and then using global positioning GPS systems to make sure that we put the right amounts in the right place, saves me a lot of those really, really expensive inputs. I think there'll be some fields this year will pay for the testing of the land in 1 year, and having already had the GPS variable applicator in the tractor, that will very quickly, perhaps over a 3-year period, certainly pay for itself. And you can't predict what future input costs are going to be, but that's on a relatively large farm. I think by farmers collaborating, working together, they can see this technology applying product hopefully on their farms as well. Another piece of technology we're investing in this year is precision guidance systems onto tractors that are pulling big, heavy earth-moving or cultivation equipment. And by getting that more precise, there is a lot of evidence that says we can save up to 10% of our fuel use. Now, as I say, precision guidance, making sure you don't overlap, you don't end up with awkward corners in fields, must be a great way of saving money. I think there's lots of talk about climate change now, and lots of farmers having a discussion. Now, the value, I think, of the NFU working with Farming Futures to put information out into the farming world, try and make sure that agronomists, advisors onto farms are also aware of the work and the case studies that Farming Futures have been involved in, is better than me, Peter Kendall, as a farmer telling people what to do, but showing what can be done in genuine case studies. I think that's a great way of trying to get the message across.